Okay? So, salutations. Hello, how are you? We okay? Long day? Yeah. Right? Yeah. We're nearly there. You'll be in the pub in an hour, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to try and evaluate this guest lecture. And I want you to see the process of evaluation because it's a very, very key part of the job. How many of you are actively in work in the digital marketing agency? Right, okay. So, you're a little bit aware of this first letter on the first line. Yeah? Okay, what we're going to look at today is KPIs. Have we heard of KPIs before? Yes. Great. What does it stand for?
Key performance indicators.
Wonderful. Okay. It's very easy to rattle off that word, but do you understand what it actually means? How would you define a key performance indicator?
Kind of an objective, but more targeted, let's say in simple words.
In simple words. Okay. Key performance indicator will be a metric, you're right, of achieving an objective, but it will be a key marker. So if you imagine an objective, a KPI, the KPI will satisfy that objective. So you may have a number of KPIs. Now what I've done is, I've put on our evaluation grid, is KPIs is blank. So you may want to think about how we're going to evaluate me and my performance of what I'm going to do, and how I'm going to divulge this information to you. So I think these are my KPIs that I thought of on the train on the way down from Manchester. Number one, does this guy know what he's talking about? Okay, that would be a pretty key performance indicator. If I didn't know what I was talking about, this would be a pretty crap lecture, to be honest. Okay, so another KPI is, what is he talking about? What am I actually talking about? Okay, that will be a key performance indicator, that you understand that, what I'm talking about. So again, on the second one, do I understand what he just said? That would be a KPI as well. Okay? And then how am I going to evaluate this guest lecture? How am I going to evaluate and report back on what's just happened? Okay? Make sense? Now these are not very well thought out because I was hurtling down from Manchester at about 200 miles an hour on a train. So this is the best idea that I came up with. KPIs in real business are slightly different. They're a lot more specific, they will have a time frame, and they will have some exact data within it. Okay? So, I'm going to introduce myself very quickly. Okay, my LinkedIn profile is there, that's my CV, you can have a look at that. As I mentioned before, well, let's go back a step. Okay, there's a concurrent theme running through this, running through my experience. First of all, I studied marine zoology in the west of Ireland. Okay? I was looking at benthic organisms in the bottom of Galway Bay. Then I decided to become a science journalist and then wrote for a newspaper, a regional newspaper in Ireland. And then I realised that's all rubbish, I'm going to go and teach at high school. So I taught at high school for a while, taught science. And then I realised that was rubbish as well. So I moved over to the UK, started working in web, and then eventually made my way as a first digital marketing graduate in the UK, and made my way back into university. So what's the concurrent theme there?
Information.
Education and communication. Okay? So one thing I pride myself upon is kind of different teaching techniques. So I don't do chalk and talk. I'm not going to stand here, write down, you take it down. I want you to master these concepts and master these ideas. Okay? I do like little grids because I'm dyslexic, and I like playing with things, I like touching things. The last session that we had with my final year students, we had little fuzzy balls that they threw at each other for different concepts and different ideas. Okay, I like things like that. But the key points are communication and data, because I'm a geek. I love data, I love numbers, I love facts, I love figures. So according to my CV, you can have a look at that if you want. You can connect to me on LinkedIn, please do. So I teach in Manchester Metropolitan University Business School. Seen as a forerunner in digital marketing education, we had the first digital marketing degree in the UK. I was the first student to graduate with it as a mature student. I worked with a number of different universities, including this one, including with Evangelos. So the job, what do? I'm a unit leader for Digital Marketing Communications Management, which is a final year unit, a degree unit, for our digital marketing degree. Now, again, I like to use avant-garde, I like to use left field techniques, and one of the things that we do with that is we're getting our final year students to post all of their assignments on a blog. I get them to measure the performance of the blog, which we mark online, and at the end they do a big, badass evaluation report and show me the performance of their blog. Now, one idea is to see actual real-life practice. Another idea is that the wider digital marketing community in the Northwest can look in and see who the good students are. So that you can check who they're going to hire in September and November. And they could see how good they are. So again, quite innovative. I'm a first year tutor, so I'm well used to students coming with ridiculous and inane statements and questions, but I like to answer them well. Okay, so don't worry about any question. If there's something you don't understand, it's absolutely fine. Okay, I do a little bit of consultancy as well. I help out some local businesses in the Northwest. So, the Northwest, I did mention once before. Does anybody know this expression, north of the M25? A lot of people in London say nothing happens north of the M25, which is the road which is just at the north of Greater London. There's actually quite a lot, and I'm going to go through it very quickly. Again, the first one is Pro Dev Day, my own invention. Professional Development Day. What we bring is our students into a big hall, and we invite local digital agencies to come in and speak to our crowds. Okay? It used to be called a milk round. It's where agencies come along, they speak to the students, and assess whether they're good, and see if they can hire them. Search School is something that we do within the final year unit. And Search School consists of bringing search engine optimization, search engine marketing agencies will come in and explain the tools, how to, and they'll literally sit there for a day and go through how to optimize a page, how to optimize a campaign, how to optimize for social. Okay, and SASCON is another thing which I want you to have a look at. SASCON is a national UK conference for search and social. What we do is we bring in lots and lots of different speakers, key people. I mean, Avinash, he was involved in it a couple of years ago. There's some really, really great speakers that come to SASCON. Have a look. So, Social Media Cafe. Social Media Cafe is a monthly event where social media marketers meet and discuss and talk social. And that's every month. I'm actually missing it tonight. 7:30 is when it's on, and it's on in the BBC building. I attend that every month because I want to meet the practitioners, what they're doing. I want to hear about the issues that are happening right now. Okay, some very key, influential social media practitioners go to this, and you get some great information, and it's great for my research. Measurement Camp. This is a dating, meeting that happens every month for people who love analytics, people who love data, people who love facts and figures. Have a look at it. There's some in the UK. If there's one on in London, you should attend, okay? Because people talk about real issues with evaluation, with Google Analytics, you know. There was a question asked earlier on by this lady, I believe, just about kind of where the position, where the keywords should be within the text, the headers versus that. There'll be key discussions on that. Google Instant Search, something that's happened quite recently. The live updating of the Twitter feeds within that. That was the last discussion that we had in November. Fantastic stuff, but grassroots stuff. Just practitioners meeting up and talking about it. Kitten Camp, dating for geeks. It's quite good, all based around kittens and pictures of kittens. Geeks will understand that one. Manchester Digital is a trade organisation. That's the union that we're all in. If you have a look at Manchester Digital, you can see a list of all the companies that are there. Those of you that are interested in a job in social, if you consider going north of the M25, have a look at that. Okay? And then BBC Oop North. That's a colloquialism, by the way, Oop. It's what people in North England tend to use, just in case you don't know. The BBC is moving to Manchester. It's moving to Salford Quays, and they're building this massive complex called Media City, multi-million-pound development, and it will be open next year. So a lot of our grads, a lot of postgraduates, there's a good opportunity there. Okay, that's something you should be aware of. So something north of the M25. So my research interest, I'm quite interested in digital marketing strategy, as I mentioned. I'm quite interested in emerging technologies and trends. Obviously by Twitter and a few other tools like that, I do follow quite a lot of what's happening through social events every month, follow new trends and different things of what's happening, such as locational, things like that, instant search, and how the rankings will change. I'm quite interested in digital impact on the music industry business, how that business model is going to be changed. But again, that's something that's quite hard to get definitive data. Partly because I was one a couple of years ago, a social media practitioner. So my interest in practitioners and practitioner approach is a testament to these people. And this guy who was here before from 360, you have to appreciate the sheer gall of these people, because Google doesn't play fair. Do you remember Googleville, when they brought in the Chrome, the new browser? And the big poster was Googleville. Mm-hmm. There was Google and evil. You could highlight evil in the middle of it. Because Google ultimately are evil. They don't play by the rules. They make their own rules. It's a country by itself. It's a continent by itself. Okay? So these practitioners deal with this day in, day out. How many times has the algorithm been changed in the last 2 years? Anybody? Anybody hear of the caffeine update? No? Okay, you want to look at these things. They're quite key. I would take that down. Caffeine update, re-changed the entire algorithm, and all of a sudden your search rankings dropped from page 2 to page 52 for no reason. It was disputed that the reason was that if you did not invest in Google AdWords, then your ranking slipped. Therefore, give us some money for a PPC campaign and all your organic search is completely defunct. Okay? So a lot of these things, I'm quite interested in the practitioner approach because this, we talk about revolution, the digital revolution, internet revolution. It's not an evolution. It's not a revolution, it's an evolution. Okay? Revolution suggests that there was a bad power in charge previously. Something's overturned, but it wasn't that bad. Evolution is these practitioners, day in, day out, they're dealing with these changes, dealing with Google not playing fairly. And the approaches that they involve, these are the pioneers. These are the people actually setting these trends. These are the people that there's a reason why you're here studying it. Okay? No computer. Google didn't make social media. People did, and practitioners did. Okay?